Just a reminder before today's programme that the previous part of the vinyl haul is available to view. And now, here on AMTV, it's time to look at what we picked up in the last few months of 2020. Hi there guys, it's Adam Martyn here, and yes, it's that time of the year again. 2020 is nearly at an end, thank goodness, but it is time to look at the vinyl collection once again and everything that I picked up in the months of October, November and December. Now admittedly, there's nowhere near as much as there has been throughout the rest of the year. I've been buying other things, namely Big Finish stuff, but I have got the odd record from time to time, so I'm going to take you through all the releases that I've been picking up. We're going to kick things off with a Record Store Day release this year, my only pickup from Record Store Day, and it's Ellie Goulding and Lights 10, so the 10th anniversary reissue of Ellie Goulding's Lights album. I remember owning this album on CD, I loved it then, and I think this is a really stellar pop album. What's interesting is it says on the label here, it says featuring 6 remixes on vinyl for the first time, and it's pressed on 180 gram recycled vinyl and printed on 100% recycled board. So this all is a one recycled package, and I think Ellie's done this with her brand new album as well, and I think that's a really good way to go forward, just environmentally speaking. It's not a gatefold release, even though there's 2 records in there, but songs, for those who aren't familiar, you've got Starry Eyed, her first big hit, Guns and Horses, Under the Sheets, The Writer, and some of my favourite songs of hers include Home and Animal, Your Song of course, her cover of Elton John's classic, and as I say, the 6 remixes on there. I'll show you a little bit of this recycled vinyl, shall I? I mean, you could argue it's pretty indistinguishable from regular vinyl, but this is all recycled, as are these sleeves, and there's a great photo of Ellie there. So again, big props to them doing this for environmental reasons. I wouldn't have any qualms if other companies went this way too. All in all, this album is just as good as I remember it was 10 years ago. In terms of getting it, as I say, it's a Record Store Day release, so it is in limited quantities. Now I think you'll have to turn to eBay or second-hand sites. I picked up mine for the base price, which was about £30. It's probably worth a little bit more now. Funnily enough, our next thing today is also 10 years old. It's this, Plan B, The Defamation of Strickland Banks, which is 10 years old as well, came out in 2010. And this is a great album for Plan B, who started off mainly in rap and the grime scene, and he moved into more like mainstream pop R&B, whilst mixing rapping actually. And this had some of the biggest hits of 2010 and 2011, including Love Goes Down, Stay Too Long, She Said, that was a monster hit, that was. You've got Welcome to Hell, The Recluse, Praying, that was a good single as well. This has 13 tracks. I used to own the deluxe album on CD, which had, I think, a second disc with even more tracks and remixes, but having the base album on here is just really cool to have on vinyl, because I don't think it got vinyl issue before. It was released for its 10th anniversary, and this one is also coloured vinyl. And the actual package, it said it's oxblood colour. I've never seen oxblood, but apparently it looks something like this. There you go, so that is oxblood red. A very interesting colour choice for a vinyl, I think. But it comes on 2 discs. I think for a 13-track album they could have just put it on 1 disc. I don't know why they did that, but this is actually a gatefold release too. And when you open it up, it's got some lovely pictures from the album and Plan B himself. This is a bit more widely available. I got my copy from HMV for, I believe it was $24.99 when it came out. It might be a little bit cheaper. HMV's doing a lot of discounts at the minute, but you can also get this secondhand and probably on other sites as well. Okay, our next release today is actually the next installment in the 1921 series that HMV have been doing. If you remember from the last update, they were releasing lots of different albums with special sleeves as part of HMV's what's going to be their 100th anniversary next year. So this is Nipper 12. This is nothing but Thieves with their album Moral Panic, which released day and day with this variant. So it's a brand new album. I'd never listened to the music before, but I actually really like this album. It's really solid. There's lots of different tracks on here. Very interesting sort of music. Definitely worth taking the plunge. There's 1,000 of these available, although annoyingly my copy doesn't have a number printed down there, which is a bit annoying to be honest. But yeah, I'm always looking to listen to new music, and with releases like this, I'm glad they are introducing people like myself to new music too. As I say, it's Nipper 12, and I thought that was going to be it, you know, 12 releases, 12 months, but there are releases planned for early 2021 as well, which makes sense, it's the anniversary, so be tuned, there will be more of these releases to come. Okay, next up we have another brand new album. A lot of these are brand new albums. We have Little Mix with their album Confetti. This came out in November. It's their 6th studio album, and I'd say, in my opinion, it's not as good as some of their previous efforts. I personally think albums like LM5 are some of their best work ever. This sort of returns to, it feels more like their early day pop, like just more mainstream pop, even like down to the cover, the whole Confetti thing. It's still a solid album though. It's got great tunes like Breakup Song, Holiday, Sweet Melody. I like Not a Pop Song, which is a great prestige on the genre. My Love Won't Let You Down's a good song. If You Want My Love, Breathe. There are lots of good tracks on here. This is by no means a bad album, but I definitely don't think it's their best work. This is a unique disc as well. I got this from HMV. They were doing a limited edition splatter release. So if you can see there, ignore the ring light. It's got all splatter around it on a clear disc. It's actually pretty cool. I think each splatter is unique, to my knowledge. I don't think they're all the same. So you can get that splatter version still, I think, from HMV. It retails at $19.99. As I say, HMV have been doing a lot of flash discounts and sales, so keep your eyes open for that. But yeah, if you're a fan, it's a pretty solid album from Little Mix. But what released on the same day as Little Mix, and what in my opinion is the superior album to come out that day, is this. It's Kylie Minogue with Disco. I was so excited for this release. I pre-ordered this way back in August. It's her latest studio album, which is obviously heavily inspired by disco music. Now, this is a limited edition release that I've got. It's got the dark blue right in there. So the hassle was I originally pre-ordered this at HMV because they were doing like a dark blue vinyl, I think it was. But then literally days before this came out, I got an email from the Kylie Minogue website saying, because you're in her top 1% of fans on Spotify, I listen to a lot of Kylie, you have access to pre-order a only 4,000 copy edition of the album with a marble blue vinyl. So here is that gorgeous marble blue color there. Honestly, it just looks so stunning. I love it to pieces, and it's a great album too. But with that release, there's only 4,000 copies, so I'm telling you, in the future, that's going to be worth more than I paid for it. The standard release of Disco, I believe, is $19.99 at HMV. The special coloured one was also around that range. This one was £30 to pre-order, but for its limitedness, I didn't really mind. Lots of great songs on here. Magic is one of her best songs in years. Say Something obviously was a hit single too. Supernova I really like. Dance for Darling. And this is actually the deluxe version of the album as well. I don't know if the original release had extra tracks. The original album I think has 12 songs. This has 16. It's nice to have that. Celebrate You, that's my other favourite song on there, and it's all lovely and embossed. Basically, if you're a Kylie Minogue fan, I'm sure you'll absolutely lap this up. And when you open it up on the inside, you've got this really interesting gatefold image of Kylie and her lips there. Typical Kylie fashion, I guess. But yeah, one of her best albums in years, so if you're a fan, definitely go and pick up Disco. Right, we're getting to the end now. I told you I didn't have much, but this is something a bit different. This isn't a music album, this is a audio drama. It's Doctor Who fanfare for the common men. So this is a Big Finish main range title. It originally came out in 2013 during the 15th anniversary. This year in 2020, they've reissued it on vinyl, and I didn't go and buy this originally. I won this in a giveaway. I follow an account called A Geek's Thoughts on Instagram, who was doing a giveaway of a copy of this, and I was very lucky enough to win it. So I've been able to get my copy, and it's a great story. It's set in the 60s. It's basically the premise, a world where the Beatles don't exist, but not in the same vein as the film Yesterday. Sort of like, what were their replacements? And it is the common men. Lots of great Liverpudlian style humour, great story, great acting by the leads. Peter Davison as the Fifth Doctor and Sarah Sutton as Nyssa. We all love Nyssa, don't we? And yeah, one of the best main range stories in my opinion. Glad it got a vinyl release, and it's actually in different colours. I won't show you them both, but you can see it online. And what I love about the inside is they've done it in the style of like a 60s vinyl sleeve, you know, with the black and white pictures of the band and like a little bit of information. Just really cool they went to that extra little bit of detail. These were released in Asda stores exclusively, and I think they were in limited quantities. A lot of stores sold out quite quick. Now you're looking at secondhand mostly. It retailed, I think, for $24.99, so just be on the lookout. Don't pay way too much than you need to. Apparently other Big Finish releases are coming to vinyl soon, so if you're into that sort of thing, keep your eye out. And last, but by no means least, the band that saved 2020, it's Steps with What the Future Holds. This came out only about a week or two ago at the time of this recording. And yeah, it's just, do you know what, we all love Steps. You know, the 90s, early 2000s, Steps were everywhere in our childhoods. They made some absolute banging songs. I'm glad they've reformed. They've put this album out as well for 2020, and it's just such a fun album. In a year that's been so down and dreary, to have as many uplifting and boppy pop songs as this is great. You've got singles like What the Future Holds and Something in Your Eyes, which are two very Steps-esque songs, really that modern ABBA vibe they always had. I love Clouds as well. Father's Eyes is a beautiful song. There's just a Heartbreak in This City. There's so many great songs on here. And this one I got from HMV because it also was in coloured vinyl. I got the coloured vinyl edition, which is a lovely pink, which you would expect as the whole album covers pink. So lovely pink vinyl, you can get that from HMV. I believe it was $19.99, so not the most expensive vinyl in the world by any means. You can get a standard edition as well, and of course it's available on other formats, including cassette. I also have a cassette release of this album because it's so damn good. You can get that from the Steps website for about £7, but I imagine that's limited, so get it if you want it. And look on the inside, you've got the 5 of them there just being themselves. Really glad Steps are still making great bangers in 2020. So yeah, if you like Steps then and you just want some good old cheesy pop to cheer you up, get this album. And that sadly is it for this collection video. As I said, that was only like 7 or 8 albums, but I didn't honestly really pick up much. I've been busy with so many other things, but I do still like to listen to my vinyl, hence all these shelves behind me, and it was nice to get some of the albums I really wanted. In terms of the future of this series, I have enjoyed doing sort of an every 3 months update. I think that's a good way to do it rather than try and pressure myself to do it, you know, every week or every month. So it'll probably continue in the future. If it's a really special release that I think deserves its own video, I might make its own video on it, but we'll just have to wait and see for the future. I hope you guys have been enjoying these vinyl collection updates throughout 2020. If you have, please leave a like on this video and let me know in the comments down below, how would you want to see this collection series change in the future? Do you want it to stay the same? Have you got some new ideas for the format? Please subscribe to the channel as well if you're brand new. I make videos on all sorts of things, including vinyl, but other things as well. I hope you're all keeping safe and well, and until the next one, I will see you guys next time. A massive thank you to our producer and director patrons for your support towards us here at AMTV. You just help keep us going, and that's massively appreciated. And that does bring us to the end of another evening here on AMTV. We hope you enjoyed the programme, and we hope to see you next time. Good night.